This is the number of the beast, 666. You want me to explain the meaning of the number? The explanation is for you to understand in simple language as I'm going to put it. The 666 you are hearing about is the uncompleted age, the age of defilement, and the age of sorrow and wickedness. The first 6 represents the 6 images of the empires that are to take place. In Christendom, you have the joyful, sorrowful, and the glorious mysteries. So, in the first mysteries of the wicked world, that is, in the first mystery of Lucifer's kingdom, what you have is the 6 golden mysteries of darkness. This is the journey of his errors into the earth. That is the errors of paganism. And the second 6 mysteries of Lucifer means the suffering age of his errors, when men will begin to run away from darkness and people will say, no, we cannot follow darkness. You remember that it will be difficult for people who are in darkness to come out physically and introduce themselves. So those errors of paganism under the umbrella of deceitfulness is called Renayokom. That is the deep meaning of the word when they say that their own father is forsaken by the world. Then the third mystery of Lucifer is the 6th enthronement era of paganism, and is the era you people have found yourself in. So as you can see, this is the era by which men say that they are tired of crying out in pains, that they need the peace of the world. Is there any peace to be found in the world that is filled with errors already? So, no peace is found in the world, but man feels that the peace that Lucifer will give to them is the peace they need, and that is why he will crown it with the efforts of his wicked numbers. And those numbers are like an identification of the figure of your soul being magneted into his wicked system, the soul damnation. And he will continue to carry you. That is the era you are in. Some already have started having the mark of the beast, 666, on their foreheads. Some have the mark of Christ on their foreheads. These are 2 kingdoms that are fighting, light and darkness. And that is why in Christendom, it was 777, and it is talking about perfection of God, when the glorious reign of God will come and make peace in the world. And that is when the kingdom will come and will triumph and will last eternally. People are having the numbers. They are carrying it about in the spiritual. It is going to be made physical when the time comes and when God has destined for it to happen. God is a merciful God. He does not want his children to be lost because the danger is so much and there is no kindness on the earth. People are chasing shadows, worshipping idols and money, and worth is the force of their interests. They have forsaken the right attitude to life. They know that only God exists, but they fail to understand it because the nature they have found themselves, the nature of sin, has withdrawn them from the presence of God. But if they want, they can still get the mercy of God, and that is where you find yourself in the love of His holiness. So what I am telling you is the teaching that you are meant to understand. Great trials and tribulations the church is going to face is at hand. Many people will abandon their faith. People will say that the Eucharist is just a mere phantom, and it will no longer exist for them. Their souls will be dead against it, and they will only be striving for what is going on now. Miracle, miracle, miracle. Man has forsaken the way. They have chosen darkness instead of light. Know you that the miracle of the Eucharist in this era is the perfection of the unity of reconciliation. As you can see, the 666 days meant the genealogy of the earth, and the beginning of the earth, and the end of the world of Lucifer himself, and the era of God himself started to fight it with the completeness of his perfection, in the power of his embodiment in the body and the blood. Now what you can understand is this, that the 666 days, which is 6 uncountable days, 6 uncountable times, and 6 uncountable eternities, are what make up the 666. Lucifer calls it the period of his enthronement, period of his desert, and the period of his triumph in the genealogy of the existence of the dark principalities. But on the side of God, you have the joyful, the sorrowful, and the glorious reign. But in heaven, there is a language that God has chosen for it. In the language of man, you call it the joyful, the sorrowful, and the glorious era. But in the language of God, He has chosen a name which He calls it. He calls the first one the joyful, the time of God, the time of Lupachin. The second one means exultant. The third one means Ephetera, meaning the time continues and never ends. As you can see, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do you know why He has chosen to be called by that name? Because it is like a hunter who enters into the bush to hunt for an animal. The first animal that he caught, he said, "I am not going to kill this animal. Instead, my trap caught it. I am going to put it under my care and raise it, and it is going to bear children for me." And as they get children for him, He is going to make them pets under His care. This is the stone God has chosen to lay in Zion, upon the word Jesus Emmanuel came to make His throne. You see, the things of God are a mystery. What I was asked to come and tell you is what I am telling you. The fulfillment of the age has come. So watch out. The world is no longer rotating in the speed hour of the way God wants it to be. And get ready, because many things are still coming out on the earth. And be afraid when the world will say, "We have found peace and there is no more war." But in order for God to instigate and to dissolve the plans of their wickedness, war will continue to set upon the earth to remind people that they are going somewhere, both physical and spiritual wars. The road is narrow, but where you are going is beautiful.